Well, if we could change the world, there'd be no hatred, no envy, no pandemic. I'm pretty sure about that part of it as well. Good morning, Ricardo Drew. Welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing this morning?
I am alive. I'm awake. Family's good. So anything after that can just fall into place, man.
All right, nice. You're having a little bit of a connection issue, so you're sticking a little bit, but we will try and work through it because I know that you're on the move. Ricardo, tell me, where in the world are you right now?
Yeah. Well, currently, right now, I'm in New York, man. I'm actually in Long Island.
All right, and you've been there for work, I assume? All right, we having some connection issues there with Drew. Hoping that we get it back. Yeah, you hear me now, Drew?
Drew, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me better?
Yes, much better. So you're saying you're in Long Island and you're there for work, I assume?
Correct. We are here. We will base here for the next couple of months, actually.
Okay, and that decision was made. How long have you guys been outside?
I would like to say maybe a little under a month now, maybe about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And how was this whole pandemic thing? I mean, what was the difference between where were you before? Were you in Trinidad or were you in Antigua?
Well, I was actually between Florida and Trinidad. So I spent about 6 months in Trinidad and I spent 6 months in Florida, and then I spent another 6 months in Trinidad.
Okay. I think that you have a benefit that a lot of other entertainers don't in terms of being able to move freely like that. So how has this impacted your ability to be able to earn and generate income, this whole pandemic?
I mean, just like everybody else, we've actually been hit pretty hard. Just being able to, the entertainment sector itself has, in my opinion, has been one of the last sectors to actually really get a boost or to get that support. Mm-hmm. Especially because seeing that, we have a lot of gatherings when we have to perform and entertain.
That's the whole idea.
So it's been very difficult, not just for myself, but for some of my peers, and we've just been trying to be as positive as possible when it comes to this, knowing that, it is a pandemic and people are getting sick. So we've just been trying our best, but I can't lie to you, it's been very hard.
Yeah.
And the government's stance lately has been vaccinate to operate. Where you are right now, have you seen vaccination being the means of getting back to work?
Oh, most definitely. And a lot of people, you'll hear them say, "Oh, he got paid to say that." But no, here in New York, we performed in Florida last week. We performed in Texas last week. And that's the thing, people are walking around now and you see them pulling out their vaccination cards and it seems that life is actually kind of fallen into a bit of what we used to know on this side. And it's mainly because people are just saying, listen, I need life to get back to where it was, so I need to vaccinate. Patsy and I, we went and we did our vaccination about 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
And for us, it's like we don't want to force anybody. We don't want to put any judgment on anybody. We tell everybody, listen, do your research, check it out, and make the best decision for you, because we made the best decision for us.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm happy to hear that you made that decision and that it's paying off in terms of being able to get to where you need to go to be able to generate and earn that income. Tell me something, in terms of the events that you perform at, is it that it's a requirement to have your vaccine, your immunization card to be able to enter?
No, it is not, actually. The cities that we performed in so far are pretty much open in terms of just anything. You're not required to wear a mask. It's not something that they're forcing on people. They are encouraging it, because every 2 minutes you turn on the radio, there's a vaccine commercial.
Right.
But they're not saying, listen, if you're not vaccinated, you can't be a part of.
Right. Okay, that's important. Now I know I spoke to Patrice in the earlier part of the pandemic, and she was very nervous about the whole thing. She was very worried about how it's going to impact, not just from a economic perspective, but from a health perspective. Do you also have that concern when you go out to perform in places that don't, encourage, or not encourage, but don't enforce wearing masks, or don't enforce that you have to be vaccinated?
Man, we've been like that since we left Trinidad. It's been very socially awkward.
Yeah.
People in your face, and people want to take pictures, and it's not necessarily that we don't want to take the pictures, but we leave a territory where it's, listen, if you're outside, mask. If you're in your car, even if it's with your family, mask.
Yeah.
Social distance, make sure and of course the state of emergency that we would have just left, leaving all of that and then coming into Florida and going into New York, where people are just free and no mask and just normal. It felt very awkward for us, and it's been taking a little bit of time for us to kind of just fall into that again. And it will with anybody else. This has really made a lot of us socially awkward.
Oh yeah, for sure. And speaking of social, to the events you performed at, was there at least social distancing practice?
Man laugh, yes.
I'm so sorry.
That says it all.
Definitely not. No, I got yelled at the other day because after a while, I had to tell people, listen, it's not necessarily that I don't want to take pictures, but it's just that I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And people took it as me trying to be above and beyond, but no, it's just I'm not accustomed to that yet, and I just have to work my way into it. So no, there is no form of social distancing here. You see the stickers, you see the signs, but nobody's adhering to that again. It almost feels like people are just saying, listen, we're vaccinated, and
We can do what we want.
We're going to do what we need to do, because at the end of the day, this is the way forward.
But I have a question for you, though. As an artist performing on stage, I know that you guys are accustomed encouraging the crowd to jump up together, to hug up your friend, to do those sorts of things. Are you still doing that? Do you have any kind of awkward feeling about doing that as an artist now?
Yeah, it's definitely awkward. It's like the whole boy, like every argument now has to you have to go back into the lab and just rewrite everything, because like now, you don't want to tell somebody to hold somebody's hand, and then next, 2 weeks from now, you get a message on Instagram, I have COVID because of you. It's so it's weird, man. But those kind of things are second nature to us. So sometimes it comes out just naturally.
Yeah.
Jump up, hug up your friend, do these kind of things. So it will come out naturally. But it is definitely something that pops up in the back of the mind. Like, should I really be doing this? Should I just say, you'll jump on two separate sides of the room? But when you start to get into the flow of it, it's just something at this point up here. You just can't get away from it. It is what it is at this point.
All right. Well, Drew, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Saturday Now Morning Show. Now you have a plane to catch just now, so we're going to let you go, and we're going to continue discussing, the work opportunities in the creative sector as we go forward inside this pandemic. So thank you very much, and all the best. Stay safe out there. You and Patrice.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Safe as well.
Yeah, man. Take care. Now that's Ricardo Drew talking about his experience outside there in the States. So we'll take a break and come back with more.